Today, my trusty assistant, Professor Dr. Milo, has helped me find a really good free background remover that you can use in bulk. It's definitely one of the best I've ever seen. And in this video, I'm going to test it with some really challenging images. So the tool in question is actually designed by Jose or iScalePOD. He's got a very underrated YouTube channel, and this is what it looks like. Very simple interface with some settings on the left. You drop your images into the middle, and then you can remove the color. Now, the thing is, this works differently to things like ClipDrop or Pixian that I've mentioned in the past, where those use AI to try and figure out what the background is. It's all AI based, whereas here you're removing a background color just like you would in Photopea or Photoshop or GIMP perhaps, and you have a lot more control over what's being deleted than just trying to rely on an AI to figure it out for you. With that said, let's take a look at some of the images we're going to remove the background from today. So this one is quite challenging because it has a lot of tiny gaps right here in the graphic. I've got a mixture of sort of easy and difficult ones. This is maybe a little bit easier. This one as well. Here we've got some thin lines in between the letters of Trust God. And this one should be quite a lot easier. This one must be quite hard with these little details right here in the sun. So it's definitely a variety of background colors and difficulties. This skull is probably going to be hard to do a good job of, but let's see anyway what it's going to do. I'm going to go back to this window and then just drag and drop all of these images at once, and there we go. They've opened up. 24 images are now in this queue down here, which you can also hide, by the way, to make this view bigger. You can cycle through them and see what the effect looks like, or the removed background looks like right now. And you can also add a background color to kind of see more effectively where are there still things that are left in the design. You can zoom in at the top right here. So let me just do that. Zoom in with this slider. You can clearly see there's still some white left over, but here is the cap. We can now make changes and adjustments with the sliders on the left. Automatically is selected by default right here, which means it chooses the top left corner or the color in the very top left corner and then removes that from the image. You've got some additional sliders right here. The first one being color threshold. This is essentially like the tolerance slider. If you've ever used the magic wand feature in Photopea or Photoshop, you'll know what that is. The higher this right here, the more of the white it's actually going to select in the image. If we focus on this gun right here, if I lower this down, yeah, it's going to essentially select less and less of the background color. So you could play around with this right here. The next setting, which is really interesting, is minimum region size. So the higher this is, the more it'll avoid tiny gaps. The lower it is, the more it will go into all of the tiny gaps and actually select the color there. So you can see right here, we've already made a big improvement just by turning this slider down all the way to the bottom, because it's now getting into the tiny gaps of this illustration. And if we now play around with the color threshold, you can more easily refine this. So we should probably have this up quite high. And then we've also got edge feathering, which this is essentially like the shift edge feature in Photoshop. If you want to refine your mask, you can shift the edge inwards, which I wouldn't really use this too much because it will ruin your graphic. You might as well want to turn this down to 0 and then test with these settings right here how much you can select of the background color. So if I have this set to really, really strong, no edge feathering, it looks okay. Maybe just 1 pixel, turn this down a little bit. So you have to find a sweet spot here. I think I'm going to try, 0 edge feathering, 1 minimum region size, and then quite a high color threshold is looking good right now. You also have a contiguous setting, by the way, which again, you'll probably know from the magic wand. So if I turn this on right here, it won't go inside of these graphics, but this is not very handy if you have text in your design. So we'll leave that off. And whatever settings you have here get applied across the board. So I can skim through these and you can see that most of these have done a pretty good job. Like if I zoom in on the text right here, we said this is a challenging one. It's taken out some of the stuff in these gaps, and you could still apply this kind of edge feathering effect and have it look even better. If I remove the background color, you can see this looks pretty good. Same with the goose, whereas the skull was quite a difficult one. Skulls generally have so many little spots in between right here in the skull, and that's tough to remove background effectively. And whilst it's not 100% perfect, there's still some tiny little black spots which I think we might struggle to remove completely. This is the best I've ever seen. Usually this looks way worse with some of the automated background removers out there that use AI. And this is really, really good for a complex, difficult graphic. Let me disable that again and also show you that there is some effects at the bottom that you can use too. So the first one is an ink stamp effect, which I believe only works on certain graphics. Yeah, we can do it with this goose right here. You can essentially overlay a color onto your design. It doesn't always work with all of the graphics, but for some of them it will work. I kind of give you a different color alternative. You can also enable image effects if you want and increase things like the brightness, the contrast, or the vibrance of your colors. There's black and white or grayscale setting if you want to just kind of reprocess all of your images black and white and upload them, or you can invert the colors and run this in bulk as well to have everything kind of apply to a different color shirt. So there's some really handy settings that you can all run in bulk. You can refine all of these sliders for the background removal, and then once you're done, you can run it in bulk, which is amazing. So once you're happy with the settings, you click process and download right here, and it will go one after another. This is really fast. You might get a pop-up right here from Google Chrome telling you that something is trying to download multiple files. You have to allow that or accept it, and then all of these will be saved to your downloads folder with the background removed as a PNG output. It's really fast, and I'm now also curious if this works with images that have already been upscaled, because if you've upscaled your graphics first, it might be easier to remove the background afterwards, and because you have more pixels to work with. So let me run a few of these through an upscaler and then test that as well. So I'm going to now click clear all at the bottom. I ran 3 of the images through Upscale, which is a free upscaler, and let's see if this works. These are about 4,000 pixels wide and high now, and yeah, there we go. So this one actually doesn't look good because we've probably got too much of the color threshold right here selected. Let's turn this down. I can definitely tell this is now slower in terms of previewing the changes. This will use your device to process this preview and to also process the images afterwards. So if you have a really slow laptop, this might take a little while. Also, we have the image effects still turned on, so that probably doesn't help. And there we go. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. Let's see what this one turns out like. These settings. Yep, the white's been removed pretty effectively from that. And we've got Drumline Mum right here for the final design. That's also done a good job. Maybe slightly bring this up right here for some of the white inside of the flowers. But besides that, this seems to work. Let's see if I can process these, even though they're bigger images. Yep, it is starting. It's definitely taking a bit longer for each individual image, but there doesn't seem to be a limitation, which typically there is, especially with free background removers. You can't put an upscaled image into them. So this is huge. If you've got any feedback for Jose, leave it in the comments as well, or if there's anything that you're unsure about. I think this is an amazing tool, so good that we can use it in bulk and kind of save us from having to do everything one at a time with Photopea or Photoshop. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, comment Milo rules down below, and huge thank you to Jose for making this tool available for free. If you want to show him your thanks, subscribe to his YouTube channel, which is linked down below. He's got some really amazing content. He's a good friend and he deserves more subscribers. And if you don't know what to watch next, check out this video where I share 5 AI hacks that help me create best-selling designs.